Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning Monday the 22nd of January to the 28th, 2018, not 2017. I'm so nailing this new year thing slowly. So let's start shuffling for Monday. We'll see what messages the angels have to give us for what's going to come up in our day, what sort of things are going on around us, what sort of energies are swirling, what sort of information is going to help us to make the best choices we can in our day and to deal with the cards that are dealt to us, so to speak. So here we have for Monday, Loyal Heart. So it's asking us to, particularly if you're facing decisions, to look to the people who are loyal to you. Not, and sometimes even as grown-ups, not, we did this a lot in high school, but sometimes even as grown-ups we can tend to gravitate towards people who are have some element of prestige around them, people who look cool, or I know that's kind of not a good way to put it, but sometimes we tend to amass people in our social circle that maybe make us feel a certain way or are there for fun or something and aren't actually the people that we can rely upon. So the question that comes back to is, who are you going to call at 3 a.m. if you're stuck on an abandoned road with a flat tire? Who's the person who's going to pick up the phone and drop everything to be there for you? Those are your people. Those are your real loyal people. Now, for some of you, they're saying you're asking at the moment, you're questioning the loyalty of somebody, and they're saying that you can trust them. So, and that you have evidence for why you can trust them based on their past behaviour. They have shown up for you in the past and they will show up for you again. So I know those two messages sound like they're contradictory, but it depends on where you're at right now. For some of you, if you haven't got any questions at the moment around anyone in your circle, this is asking you to really look deeper and to make sure that the people who are truly loyal to you, you are you're supporting them and you're letting them help you, and not dismissing what they say because or what they advise you to do, because they are the ones you can actually count on. Yeah, there's a lot of different elements. You know, loyalty is one of those values that can show up in a lot of different ways. So, of course, as always, trust your judgment and what that meaning is for you. Life review. This is makes me think of like a New Year's Eve type of energy, because it's really asking you to take stock of where you're at right now, and that there's no reason that you should wait for 12 months to do that. I find it quite strange that we do set aside New Year's Eve or around that time for setting goals for where we're at and making plans, where there's actually no reason you can't do that at any time. I'm doing it constantly. I don't wait till December 30th, 31st. So in particular, what they're asking you to look at in your life is imbalances and pain. I know that's not probably what you want to hear, but the things that need to be healed. So the things that you back away from, because pain doesn't like to be touched. So we tend to develop all these strategies for avoiding it. So we avoid conversations with our partner that are difficult. For example, if you're talking, if you know your partner keeps bringing up a topic that you don't want to talk about, maybe something that happened in your past that you don't want to confront. Those sort of things. This is asking you to really confront those sort of hurt. And if it's something to do with perhaps grief, it's probably something that's been playing out a lot over your life, because that is something, the sort of pain that is ongoing, and it's not like you can put a band-aid over it, because there is no quick fix for that sort of thing. But this is asking you to look at where what sort of things are coming up for you right now that you know that you kind of need to take action against and you've been putting off, and to look at the longer term picture of how you can deal with those. Can you start counselling? Can you maybe develop a better way to deal with your anger? Maybe if it's to do with your health, that's the area that's out of balance for you. I'm not really talking just about hurt right now, but in terms of anything that's out of balance, can you look to develop a long-term eating strategy, not diets, which are totally destined to fail and are not going to support your health, but a long-term, lifelong commitment to nutrition, perhaps. I don't know, it depends where you're at. But yeah, this is really asking you to see that long-range view of what needs attention right now. So that's Tuesday. Let's look at Wednesday. miracles, pretty straightforward sort of one. You know, the energy of miracles is an energy that comes through anytime we need to believe in something that we cannot see or touch. So, and that's essentially what spirituality asks us to do. It asks us to believe in things that are intangible, things that statistics and science and data don't necessarily endorse. Probably not the right word, or don't necessarily provide confirmation of. So, you know, I use this quote all the time. Faith is about taking the first step, even though you can't see the whole staircase. And it's very similar with miracles. It's asking you to believe in things that don't seem likely for you. What area that shows up for you is something that your intuition will be telling you right now. Perhaps it's you're single and you're starting to give up hope of meeting your soulmate. Perhaps you are struggling to get the particular promotion that you want. And you start to feel like you've missed your opportunity for that. Whatever it is that's going on for you, this is asking you to believe. It's hope, have hope. So let's look at Thursday. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. I love the way this particular card deck is phrased. It's very instructional. So you're going to know what this is. There's something you need to leave behind. Perhaps it is, you know, at that extreme end of the scale. Perhaps it is a relationship that's not working. Perhaps it's a way of living, a dependence. I talked about this last week when healthy living came up. A way that you are, or even if we connect it back to that life review card, a way that you are cushioning yourself against pain, the way you're avoiding it. Perhaps you're leaning on junk food instead to give yourself love, or make yourself help yourself to feel some pleasure that's missing in your life, instead of dealing with the part of you that feels hurt or broken and isn't getting that pleasure or that love or that satisfaction in your life. It could be, what other sorts of unhealthy situations could this be? Oh gosh, there's just so many potentials here. It could be a job that you're trying to, or a workplace you're trying to stay in, which is totally toxic and not right for you any longer, even though it may have served you at some point. So whatever it is, like really highlighting with a divine highlighter this word unhealthy. Now that could be taken literally in terms of your health, you know, those sort of habits you've got of not getting enough sleep, not getting enough nutrients, not getting enough exercise, etc. Or it could be health on a bigger scale, kind of level in terms of unhealthy, in terms of your energy being depleted, perhaps because you are spending too much time with people who are toxic, perhaps because you keep saying yes to people who don't respect your boundaries, or perhaps you just aren't asserting your boundaries, because remember, you can't expect people to honour boundaries that you have not set. So if you keep saying yes when you want to say no, that's on you. But perhaps you need to leave behind that particular habit or that pattern. Yeah, you'll know what that's all about for you. Yeah, health doesn't, in that context, health doesn't literally mean your physical health. It means your emotional health as well, your spiritual health, and yes, your mental health. So don't limit yourself when it comes to that one. Okay, what do I got here? You are a powerful light worker. Now, if you're watching this or you've been following me for a while, you probably already know you're a light worker. A light worker, if you're not familiar with the term, really means you've got this pull towards a spiritual life. And I know the likes of Rob Bell will say there is no separation between the spiritual life and the life that you are living, because it's all the same. But and of course the way that you live is how you express that spirituality. But I'm thinking more in terms of you feel a connection, in terms of you want to serve the light, you want to live in the light, you want to perhaps you know, what I'm doing right now is being a light worker. I'm bringing messages from the divine to everyday people. Perhaps you have a kindness project you're on, or perhaps you are a healer, perhaps you are, I don't know, some sort of advocate for disadvantaged people. That's how you're a light worker. Whatever it is, it's about serving, being of service, bringing love and light to the world. That's the simplest way I can put it. And this is asking you to check in with how you're doing that. And if you have been thinking about being a light worker in some professional capacity, as opposed to voluntary or your side hustle or whatever you've got going on, the way you live your life. You know, if you've been thinking about doing that professionally, this is confirmation that that's right for you, but you already knew that, right? So Saturday, nice endorsement right there. Saturday, I know it still takes courage to follow that path. God, it took me a blooming long time to get on this one, I tell you. So Saturday, fertility. Now, I know you're going to go literal with this one. It's not necessarily literal about conception, although for some of you it may be. So what I always find interesting about this card is that, if you can see, there's the Easter bunny in there and eggs in the basket. So if you think about the symbolism of Easter in the Western world, if you are in the Western world, it's about rebirth, new life, starting again, and rising up, those sort of ideas. And that's really the theme or the energy associated with this card. I also think of how this reminds me of like the crescent, the first crescent moon. The new moon, which is very close to the new moon. The new moon is all about sowing seeds, as this person is literally doing on this card, starting afresh. Yeah, I mean, sowing the seeds is a really good analogy, and that's where, you know, what fertility is connected to here. Sowing the seeds for what you want to create in your life. So it's asking you, you know, it's letting you know you, in your life, you have fertile ground. All you need to do is sow the seeds for what you want. So coming back to those messages about being clear on your goals, really important. You can't send in a mixed message to the universe, otherwise you won't get anything, or you'll get just really a world away from what you want. And then setting those intentions, doing affirmations, perhaps going with a vision board if you're a visual kind of person, and of course being positive that that's going to happen for you. So the fertility is about the act of starting that process of bringing those ideas, those plans, those dreams, those visions to fruition. So, and this is, I mean, I'll just read the bottom of the text because I think that probably says it more succinctly than that, you know, word vomit I just gave you. It is a perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. I think that word access is really important because it speaks to the connection between you and the universe, which is where all your good ideas come from. So remember to connect with the universe, to ask for help. Is this the right path for me? I'm not sure what I want to create. Ask for help, ask for signs, and then make it happen. So in co-creation with the universe. Sunday, 28th, yes. Yep, whoa. Okay, calm down. I wish you could have seen the way that card just totally decides slide out. Yeah, life purpose. Notice how the construction of this is very similar here, not just in design, but in terms of that starting with the word life. So again, we're going with that expansion idea, those big picture kind of messages here. Life purpose is one of the ways that psychologists and a lot of scientific research says can help us feel happy and connected. So all these things that, you know, obviously the self-help movement is a lot about finding happiness, and one of the ideas that comes through a lot is having some purpose in your life. So what purpose do you have in your life? So for me, this is a big part of it. Bringing messages from the divine to people, making sense of them, bringing a grounded approach to spirituality so that it is palatable to people and not confusing or too wishy-washy. That is a big part of my life purpose. But there are other there are other sort of senses or sources of purpose in my life. My purpose is also to be a good friend to people. My purpose is also to be a good partner. My purpose is to write and to share advice, information and wisdom, and to entertain through my words. That is why I came into this career as a writer, my first career, which I still do. So there are lots of bigger scale and smaller scale kind of purposes we have. Everybody has the purpose to learn how to love, to learn how to heal from hurt and wounding as well, by the way. But there are also individual, I guess, kind of ideas or lessons that your soul came through to learn, and like a quest that your soul had. Some people know those automatically or have worked with the universe to try and kind of isolate them. Others are still trying to figure it out. It's a process, and chances are, as you go along the path, you'll discover lots of other ones as well that you. So even when you're sure about something, you might find that takes a slightly different format, or there are different layers. So it's kind of a big message, and romance is the major thing that people come to me for readings about. But life purpose would be the second one, very closely followed by life purpose. Sometimes people confuse life purpose with career, and it's true that they can be the same. As I mentioned, writing for me, my career, also the work I'm doing here with you guys, doing readings for people, that's a big part of my life purpose, and it's also something I do professionally. But they don't have to be. Sometimes a job can just be a job. Liz Gilbert talks about this a lot, how you have your vocation or your calling, and you can just have your job. If you just go to a job to earn money, that's totally okay. Don't feel like you're failing in any way just because there's not some big vision about that or some sort of progression or ambition associated with that. It's not necessarily the case. You can do that and have your creative project that you do outside of work, or your voluntary campaigns, or whatever it is you do. Make sure that you can get along the path to starting to find out your life purpose, and the universe will help you a lot with that. So in general, when people are looking for their life purpose, the word that comes up a lot is passion. So something that you're passionate about, because that's what sets your soul aflame, really. So that can be a big part of it. That's not to say it's supposed to be easy. Yeah, gosh, there's a lot I could say around that. Don't get too hung up if you don't know your life purpose as well. People often feel like a failure, or they feel like they're just kind of wandering through the world with no purpose if they don't know their life purpose. That's not the case. If you are, if you are here bringing love and light to the world, you're being kind to people, you treat people with respect, you honour your connections, you still have a purpose. Those things are purposeful. So don't think it has to be some grand vision or something hugely noble. That's not the case. So I guess the big theme is about taking a really good look at your life and where you're going, and trying to get really clear on what you want. So we have that life review and that life purpose message. We've also got messages about being loyal, and about being loyal to those who are loyal to us as well. Believing in miracles. I think health, it feels like that's quite strong as well. Making good choices for our health and leaving behind decisions that are unhealthy in a lot of different ways. I love this fertility card here being next to this life purpose. It's asking some of you to really get started on your life purpose, and you know what that is, or you have an idea about what that is. Instead of procrastinating or going, oh, that might be a big mistake, maybe I'll just wait. Don't wait any longer, just get started. You'll figure it out as you go along. That's it for the week. Thank you so much for watching. I post each card each day on my Instagram. I'm based in Sydney, Australia, and I post them around 7 a.m. here, local time. I know for those of you in the States, that's late afternoon the previous day, but whenever you see the card is important for you to take note of. So don't get too fixated on what time is it here, what time is it there. That's really not that important. So yeah, and Instagram is at @OneGroundedAngel if you are not already following me. You can also read my follow my Facebook notifications. Sometimes I post different articles on there, sort of giving more information about a particular theme. And my Facebook page is called One Grounded Angel. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care.